Welcome, everybody. My name is Kent. I am joined today with Grandma. Hello, Grandma.
Hello, Kent. Nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you too. We had just a day ago, we had the Norwegian National Day, which
Yes.
was a big celebration all over Norway. So it's, I think, 1 week since we um made the video last time. So it was time today. And last time we gave a cliffhanger about the media and the propaganda. You had a few days to think about this now. What comes to your mind, Grandma?
Well, well, the media today, they are either misinforming or uninforming, and both of them are lies. Uh, and what they are lying about is important things. Mm, they can report accurately one accident or uh, one event taking place, like 17th of May. They portray the parades and stuff, but when it comes to important things, they are misinforming the people. Sadly, they are.
Hmm.
They are supposed to. They are supposed to be the watchdogs for power, but they are not anymore. They are running errands for the power, and also I have impression that they are power themselves, and they enjoy it.
I see the media today, and I think you're right. For me, it seems to have been a change, at least from a few years back. It's been. Because I can mention to you journalists that made investigative work, which came around as big cases. And you would, of course, know a lot about them also. But what did change for over the last 20, 30 years, for an example? You think it's another perspective that gives a better view to confirm your point now?
I think my impression is that it started with Trump in 2016. Suddenly, they were some kind of hysterical because they were thinking that um, right wing is coming back and fascism and Nazism and stuff like this. I think it was this. And at the same time, in America, um, they had this left wing agenda, which we call it. We call it left wing.
Hmm.
And with internet and everything, Google, Facebook, they have this monopoly. And this monopoly is not only in America, it's all over the world. Because people, they use Google and Facebook, and they are telling people what to think and what to believe. And um, it's very, how to say, and we know from what we call the Twitter files, after Elon took over X, he was releasing all these documents that the FBI and the Justice Department in America had meetings with Google and Facebook and telling them what to take down and what to not tell the people and stuff like this. And when COVID came, it became extreme, very extreme. So, and the Norwegian media, they are no longer journalists. And journalism is a very, very important component when it comes to democracy, because they are going to keep the power in check and to report everything for the people to know what's going on. But they are not doing that anymore. So what happened is that the people have to do the job for them.
I think you're right. It's interesting to see how the people have been looking to alternative media for information.
Free media.
You see the Twitter, you see the Facebook, you see thing like this. And maybe the best example may be Joe Rogan as a podcaster. And you see the rise of podcasts. And on the other side, you see the newspapers pretty much don't get printed anymore because nobody buys them. And you see the subscriptions, you see everything like this. Everything's going down.
That's the good news.
Yeah, it's a good news.
Yes.
Because I must say I could never imagine myself sitting on the internet and talking about this, because I see the need for talking about this because our journalists have been so rubbish. I'm not saying that we are the best for this, but hopefully we can reach somebody somewhere and contribute to people waking up. Because when I see the journalists going to these schools and becoming friends with the politicians, and you see, for example, in Norway, we see Stortingets presselosje. It's called in Norwegian. It's it's the press lodge of the Parliament building. The status that comes with having these passes, and I think maybe in the past the most investigative journalists, I'm not so sure if they had the pass. And now it seems at least to be important to go to the parties and mingle and talk to their friends, and the friends are politicians and journalists, and the mix of this, it's difficult maybe to write or talk strong words to your friend. At least that could be my opinion. That could be some of the reasons. What do you think about this?
To say it short and brutal and true, is they are making their money being cowards. They are not doing journalism anymore. It's totally finished. And in that press corps in the parliament, or when they have their press conferences and stuff, free media is not allowed in there. Absolutely not. None of them. We see a little bit change in that perspective in America with the new administration there, but in Norway they are not allowed. only the media who is who is making the talking points the government and the parliament wanted to do. Only them, they are allowed in there. So so it have to be like this. The people have to do their job, and we are trying to do our small little part with this, you know. And yeah, you can wonder, like I have been thinking about this when I'm dead, when my if the truth will come back again. I'm wondering if my grandchildren will watch this and think that maybe I'm not that weirdo which they maybe consider me as now, you know, because I'm going against the mainstream. And yeah, maybe we will see. But we are in a war. It's an information war, and it's a very serious one, because lies, they never lead to something good. It always lead to something bad. And lies, they lead to death also for a lot of people. And one good example of this is back to COVID again. Very early in COVID, there was a doctor up in New York State in America called Vladimir Zelenko. He was treating his patients with hydroxychloroquine, zinc, and D vitamins. And among his patients, which was 5,000, he didn't have anyone in hospital, no one dying. And but they was blocking hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin, because if it was known that something like this would help with COVID, they wouldn't have gotten the approval for these mRNA gene therapy things, you know. So that's a good example that lies kill people.
I think it's important to mention that it was over-the-counter drugs, is ivermectin and proguanil hydrochloroquine, with no prescription before. Under COVID, yes. Everything was removed. After Kennedy come back as health minister in US, I think, was it Louisiana, I think now, that opened for ivermectin again?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Zelenko is...
And also
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
He's dead now, sadly, because he was sick from cancer already when COVID was launching. So but also it's a lot of lies about you know, the war and Trump and politics and climate change, and it's a lot of lies. And we are in a war.
Yeah, you're talking about things that divide people now.
Yes, yes.
And it seems, so you can judge if I have right or wrong view here, but it seems they want the people occupied with amongst themselves, talking, arguing about differences, and not keeping them fed with information that could, for example, stop a war.
Yeah.
We have mentioned before that our country, Norway, has been a nation of peacekeepers, which have stopped under this last war between Russia and Ukraine. And we only want to fight the politicians, that is, not
Yeah.
the people, is my opinion. But and if they keep us divided by rooting for Ukraine, for example, or Russia, it is they can do what they want.
Yes.
And it's strange to see that when you're talking about the wars, Israel Palestine is one, and Yemen US is for Israel one also that's been maybe stopped now. India, Pakistan, nothing
Mhm.
comes out about this in Norwegian media.
No,
About
no, because it was Trump who was making the peace deal there.
Mm.
Not one sentence in the media about this. It is mind blowing. And also one thing who is the difference between let's say us and all that people who is lying. We want to debate them, but they don't want. They only want to slander us, call us conspiracy theorists and grandma killers and canceling people. That's the only thing they want. And they want this because they, of course, they know they are lying. They know this. They are not stupid. They are cowards. It's as simple as this. And thank God we have a lot of people who have courage, who is willing to lose their jobs and everything for truth. Thank God it's like this. And
Yeah.
all those people who have lost their jobs, either if they are journalists or scientists or medical experts or what they are, all these people, it's like a dream team now.
It's strange to see this because we have been talking a little, as at least a few years back, we talked about Canadian truckers that pretty
Yeah.
much lost everything. Jobs, lost their bank accounts,
Yeah.
lost, been jailed. There's I
Yes.
don't think the rest of the world knows exactly what happened in Canada. Some
No, they
really
don't.
happened.
No.
Because Canada is a country that I looked up to because it seemed to have the good values and good population, kind people, and to see their government do what they did and stripping people of rights and lives.
Yeah.
I think if it can happen there, it can happen here also.
Yeah. Yes, it can.
Hmm.
And they call it protecting democracy. That's what they call it. They call censorship and canceling people and closing people's bank accounts and firing people. They call it protection of democracy. And you are supposed, all of us, we are supposed to not believe what we see, what we hear, what we know to be true. They are demanding we don't believe this.
And when we, normal people, can see this, what happened to the journalists? Where's the investigative journalists? It's insane to me that there is the old guard. Some of them are on Substack and other places. They have their voice, but in mainstream media, you can hear the crickets all day.
Yeah, they're scared to lose them jobs. The only way they can keep their jobs and make the money they need to pay their mortgage and to support their families nowadays is to be cowards. That's how they provide
But
their life.
imagine, how can they actually think like this? It's one thing if they believe that here and now is everything. But if they are spiritual people, if they believe in God or Allah, Buddha, whatever, how can they do the things that they're doing and keeping their mouth shut? If you believe in God and if there or Buddha, Allah, or whatever, and if there's a judgment day or something like this, I think the people understand what I'm thinking about now, but how can they? How can you? I'm not sure if they see it the same way we do, but in a way, I think they're selling their souls, if there is such a concept.
Yes, this is what they are doing. And this is very, very, very sad, because it will come one day that they will regret. They will regret very much this. And I think it will be a very, very painful reckoning, this, that they have been participating in not only lying to the people, but they have been participating in destroying democracy, destroying our freedom. They have been participating in on the wrong side of the war, the wrong side of the information war.
There's so much things that's going on now. Like you say,
they are still participating on the wrong side of the information war.
Yeah, of course. But still, for now, for us now in Norway, we have elections coming up soon.
Yeah.
And for us now, in the past, we could write names of people we liked on our lists. We can eliminate the people we didn't like on the lists. But this has all changed. Now we can only pick up the party we agree with and put it in a box. No adjustments.
Yes.
What does this tell us? This tells us that the parties themselves decides who gets in. And if you mean, what are we going to do?
I'm not sure if we ever had democracy in Norway. I'm not sure. But like it is now, we definitely don't have democracy. It's a joke to call this democracy, because the parties in the parliament, they decide who is going to be on the ballot, and anyone who opposes, they just throw them out of the party. So they don't do that.
We have many examples of this. Many.
Yes, many, yes. So we don't have, in reality, we don't have anyone to vote for, we have to vote for this party or that party, and the only difference would be, like 1% difference in the tax rates or something. Nothing else is different. Just small things.
And we as normal people are seeing this.
I'm not sure we are normal, but
But what about the journalists? Nobody's talking about this.
no.
And you see the example that we had of on Easter, with the professor that we talked about this earlier. You remember?
Mhm.
Yeah. Social media has taken over. It
Yeah.
was the Facebook that
Yeah.
prevented the politicians for pushing through the law.
Mhm. Yes, it was the Hitler Law.
Mm.
They stopped it for now, but it will come back again. You can be sure of
Yeah.
this. But and also um, they think that social media is a threat to them, you know, and it is, but it shouldn't be if they was doing their job. And now they blame social media that their numbers go down. They blame on social media, and but the real reason, of course, is they are not doing their job. Not at all. That is the main reason. And to lie to us about everything from medicine to war to, they are lying about absolutely everything.
Yeah, they are not saving their souls, at least.
No, no. And a good picture of that is, I remember I was watching one conference in World Economic Forum, and with Klaus Schwab and Harari. Klaus Schwab, eat the bugs, you know, and you will own nothing and you will be happy. And Harari, who was up on stage there and very excited that now we can hack the people's brains, and it was not that who was occupying my mind. It was looking in the audience where they were sitting there like our prime minister, our minister of defense, our royalties, and they were sitting there like we did when I was 5 years old going to Sunday school. We was always behaving very good in Sunday school. We were staying there and straight in the back and listening to everything because the prize was we had cakes and soda. That was the prize.
You had some
So
incentive to do it.
yeah,
Mm.
they were sitting there listening to this. Absolutely, it's so crazy.
How many people are we in Norway now, Rama? 5.5 million? Around?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like this.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we have the last NATO Secretary General was Jens Stoltenberg from Norway.
Yes.
World Economic Forum leader, now Børge Brende.
Yes.
Previous Espen Barth Eide, the foreign minister.
Yeah. Mm.
The,
Norway is a honeypot. We are one of the richest countries in the world. So for our politicians, if they lick the backs of Klaus Schwab, Harari, and all those people, and people in the UN and EU and stuff like this, they will have that jobs they want, where they have big salaries and they live for free and they have drivers and they don't pay taxes and
Seems
That
like
is
a
what,
nice place to work. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And again, the
What
media is
you
silent.
have to sell, you have to sell your soul.
Yeah.
You have to sell your soul.
But even though the people that don't believe in this, at least they can notice the reality of today and see that the media doesn't ask any questions about this.
No, they don't.
Us, the media, should ask questions about the people that comes to these positions and how they got there and how were we a country with 5.5 million people
Mm.
in the position to do what we do.
Yeah.
And I don't see any journalists asking about this.
No. No, they don't, because if they do, they will be out of job. It's as simple as this. They are paid to be cowards, not to be journalists.
Oh.
And they go along with this. They are selling them souls and they go along with this. And it's very, very, very sad.
Yeah. If I say to you that now for us in an election year, the politicians promise something, and what do you think will happen after the election is done?
Like always. Like always since when I grew up, the politicians, they was promising something, and if they didn't keep it, the press would be on their back, but it's not like this anymore. So yeah, now they are coming with these big promises and blah 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 blah. It's only blah blah blah. And when the election is over, nothing is happening. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. And the media is...
Yeah, they don't say anything. They don't say anything. And unlike many other countries, the media in Norway, they get a lot of money from the government, millions and millions and millions. Like our state channel, they get 7 billion of our tax money at the moment. And all the other media who is complying, they also get millions. So maybe it's the same in Europe, I don't know, but in America it's not like this. You know this.
Yeah, it probably pays to be on the good side with the guys that pays your salary.
It is.
Yeah. What do you think about the media in Norway being owned by, for example, Schibsted and Polaris like this? A lot of newspapers and media organizations that are being owned by the same company. And it's pretty much exactly the same over the world also.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
What do you think about this?
I don't know how they did it, but it's very clear that someone in power on the top of these corporations have decided, they are deciding what information is going to get to the people. And the good news is that they are losing, because social media is doing the journalist's job now. So, but we are still in a war, information war. And we will see who will win. But we need a great reset. not Klaus Schwab's Great Reset. We need a return back to common sense and truth, away from all these lies. Like, they are trying to make people not believe in their own eyes. I don't know why they are doing this, but it's quite crazy. They want us to believe that a man who put on a dress is a woman, for example. They want us to believe that the photosynthesis is poison. They want us to believe that war is the road to peace. They want us to believe that gene therapy is vaccines. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. But the main thread is they want us to not believe what our eyes is seeing and our ears is hearing, and what our common sense is saying is true. It's like they are trying to make people go into a kind of psychosis. The definition of a psychosis is that you break from reality. That's the definition. And this they are trying to do.
We mentioned a little about this in a previous episode, about this mass formation psychosis.
Yes.
Still urge people to look up Mattias Desmet and Tucker Carlson, the interview.
Yeah. It's a very good interview. Yeah. The last Substack, which Mattias Desmet was writing, he's the professor who has studied this mass formation psychosis, and he's saying there that there's no evidence that it's an organization who is behind this, trying to make people not to believe their own eyes or ears or whatever. And he's also saying that we have to, as many people as possible, have to speak out and speak the truth. And at some point, he says like this, at some point, it will tip back to the truth. And in the same moment, the energy will shift also. That's what he's saying. And I'm not sure he's right. When we look back to Germany, for example, you cannot say it shifted there, ever.
Yeah, you're thinking about the Second World War now, yes?
Yeah. Nazi Germany, yes. Because that people who was worshipping Hitler and they were seeing what the Nazis did to people with the concentration camps and everything. But still, it was not possible to make them change. What was happening was that they went to the shadows, and there they stayed till they died. Some people was changing, of course, was seeing, wow, what we did, but most didn't. And
yeah, you see examples of this today. When you see, for example, we mentioned the war, Ukraine, Russia. There's an example from there, which is Stefan Bandera, that lived in the west of Ukraine,
yeah,
that still affected our time.
yes,
And the Russians, they use this as a reason to enter Ukraine. And Mariupol, what happened there, and you see the east of Ukraine is something that I hope at least our viewers read up about. And
yeah,
because if you, for example, look at the pictures then from now, you see captive soldiers from Ukraine. They wear the swastika, they wear SS symbols and like this. And it's because of this, I think it's safe to say that the Nazism is not abolished.
no, it's not. No. And we have to, I think we have to expect this. If it's coming to a tipping point and truth and common sense is coming back to the world, with maybe with the MAGA movement as a big contributor to this. If it's shifting back, we cannot expect that everyone will shift back. It will still be people that are committed to all these lies. It will.
How? So why do you think some of us can see this, and the media does not see this? Also, the mainstream media does not see this.
They see this. They do. Yes. Yeah, they do. They are not stupid. No.
How come they hide it then? Do they mean the same?
Mainly because they want to keep their jobs. And they are cowards. And it's not to judge them for this, I think, because they need to keep them jobs. They have children, they have to pay rent and food and but this they have to do. And
normal people,
we have to wait. Yeah.
What should they do after seeing something like this? Maybe some agree with us, maybe some does not. Where can they find information about this?
Information is, they have the information in their pockets, in the phone. They can find it in X, they can find it. It's a jungle of free media now, a big jungle. It's not difficult to find the truth. But you don't find it in Google and Facebook. You don't find it there. But X is a good place to start. Yeah.
Most people watch the evening news and read the mainstream papers like this. But all they have to do is use their phone, like you say.
Yes, that's all they have to do.
Many people will say that the places where people like us find this information is only conspiracies and like this. What do you say about this?
Yeah, this is what this is the trick they are using to shame us and cancel us and mm, kill our spirits.
Hmm.
They are trying to kill our
Yeah,
spirits.
but for us, we are trying our best to keep it.
Yes.
But themselves, as other people that's
Mm.
watching this, maybe they think we are wrong, and feel free to tell us that we are wrong and why you are right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and that's the big difference between uh, that's the big difference between the liars and mm, the truth tellers, which I call it, because we want to debate people about all the topics.
mm,
We want to do that, but they don't want. They only want to cancel us and slander us, and yeah, that's what and they are doing it. They have canceled world famous journalists and scientists and medical professionals and
I find it strange that people can take Nobel Prize winning people and say that you are wrong, and they say like Greta
yes.
Thunberg is
Mm.
right,
Mm.
for example. So how can people
Yes.
actually believe this?
Mm. Mm. I think they believe they are threatened to believe it,
Is it
because
all?
if they don't believe it, they will be cancelled. They will be called conspiracy theorists. Mm, people will not take them serious anymore, like with us. If I speak about the weather and um, what to eat for dinner and some entertainment show on TV and stuff like this, it's okay. But I cannot speak with people about what we are speaking now, for example, or about climate or Trump or vaccines or COVID. And it's a lot of things I can speak about it, but then I'm out of society, and I am mainly, I am.
It's the same for
Yes.
me too, but I really don't care.
No, me neither. I don't care. No, I do not care.
Yeah.
But uh, maybe it's a lot of people who are risking more with being rebels like we are, you know?
Hmm.
So maybe it's, in one way, we can say maybe it's easy for us. And
But still, as it's you can say that it's easy for us. I can buy this point, but I think it's strange that people don't ask themselves that why do somebody do the things that we do? And I'm not saying accepting that we're put on the sidelines, but we are, at least some of us are doing what we are doing and being cancelled and losing jobs and losing houses, losing livelihood, being put in jail, and still somebody, as a, why doesn't many normal people don't ask themselves question about this, how we do this? Is
Yeah.
it because we are insane, or is it because we think differently, or is it?
It's very difficult to understand because if if only to go back to the war when the Nazis was occupying Norway, to see the amount of people who was not hesitating 1 second to risk their lives, to make illegal newspapers, to hide prisoners, to Norway was full of heroes, everyday people who was heroes, risking their lives.
It's strange to see that we can see this because we look for it. But then you see, for example, the media that's pushing an agenda that this happened and this did not happen. When you're mentioning the war, for example, there's in Norway there is an acceptance that it was the so-called Gutta på skauen that did everything right. And for example, the part the communists played is not mentioned pretty much at all.
No, it's not.
And the northern people, pretty much not mentioned at all either, with the Sami people and the northern people in general. It was pushed the agenda that it was the home front, or what's the English word for it, that was doing the most.
Yeah, but the point is that Norway was full of everyday people who was heroes. That is the point. And where did all those heroes go? This I wonder sometimes. Where are they? What did we become to?
We see ourselves as a nation now. We have the 8th of May, 9th of May for the Russians. They celebrated a lot. And we pretty much, maybe not this year, but earlier we pretty much ignored our history.
Yeah, we did.
Why do you think our history is hidden?
Maybe because that would remind people that many of us used to be heroes. Maybe because of this. Because if you go back to COVID again, imagine if they didn't steal the election and Trump was sworn in as president in January 2021. And it was Trump who was pushing the vaccines. Imagine this. Would not have been 90% who was vaccinated, And many of those Democrats in America, they said, I'm not going to take any vaccine if Trump says to do so. Then the propaganda would be different. It would be, then it would be that Trump is a dictator who is pushing dangerous medicine on people. That would be the propaganda then. If that happened. And so it's so crazy to... No, I don't find any answer why people fall for propaganda. I don't know.
Either way, it's very interesting that the mainstream media is not asking questions more about this.
Yeah. No, they don't. The truth is too dangerous for them. Imagine if the truth was coming out now, and people realize that they were lied to for so many years. I think it has potential to destabilize countries.
I agree.
Yeah. That's why lies are so dangerous also. Lies lead to bad things, always, always. If you don't seek the truth.
It was previously said that the media was supposed to be a watchdog.
Yeah.
What
They are
kind
not anymore.
Yeah.
No, they are not.
No.
That's part of the reason you and me are sitting here discussing these things, because we would. I don't think it would have come to our mind to do something like this if the media was doing their job. If the media was doing their job, we could just go on with our daily lives and enjoying life.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that's what we are paying them to do, because in Norway our tax money is paying them a lot of money.
I don't see us getting any tax money the first days at least.
No. No.
I think we can go on about this for hours.
Yes, we can. But
I heard you mention a little about Great Reset.
yes.
What do you think about this?
Yes. I think we need a great reset. They have teared down and destroyed. And when I say they, I mean when the media went to bed with the power, they have teared down and destroyed everything to an extent where people don't believe their own eyes and ears anymore. So, and that's why we need a great reset. Not Klaus Schwab reset to own nothing and be happy and eating bugs and hacking the brains of people and stuff like this. No, not that great reset. No, we need the people's great reset. And maybe we should talk about this next time.
I agree. Interesting conversation, Grandma.
Yes.
I would like to say thank you for today.
Thank you also. At least we are doing a small part in starting the great reset, to say so. Yeah.
I will say thank you for the listeners for listening. If you have any questions, please drop some comments. We'll hopefully see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.